Another question type that I use quite a bit is the multiple choice question. I'd like to take a look at how we can create a multiple choice question in Moodle. And what we're going to do is in the question bank section, we're going to go ahead and go to create a new question. And this time we're going to select a multiple choice question. Okay. Once we select that, it will bring up a window that we can do our work in. And that window, what I've done is I've already kind of created the question. I just want to talk through it. First of all, you're going to want to make sure that you have it in the correct category that you want to put it in, and then name it based on what you want. What do you want, so that when you're looking at it, you can tell the type of question that it is. In the next area, the body of the question, you're gonna actually ask the question. Once again, you can bring in pictures. So what I've done is I've just created the exact same question. I'm just going to create it as a multiple choice question this time instead of a short answer question. So I have the same picture in here and everything. Okay. Underneath that, we have the information that we need to enter. Most of this you're going to leave alone. Sometimes you might want to change the default question grade. You can change that to anything that you want. Generally speaking, I leave it at 1 point. If you have any general feedback that you want to give after the student answers the question, that would go in this section right here where it says general feedback. And then the next thing that we have to do is kind of look at the type of answers that we're going to put in. So here is this area is a really nice feature where you can have them answer either, there can be either one right answer or there can be multiple answers that are allowed. I find that a lot of times when I'm writing some questions, it's nice to have students be able to pick all of the ones that apply. In this case, I'm just going to have one answer, so I'm going to leave it just like that. And then you can change with the shuffle the choices and how you want the choices numbered. Do you want to maybe see, or maybe you have them in different ways that you'd like to see that numbered. All of those are options that you have available to you. The next thing that you're going to do then is just go ahead and put in the choices that you want for multiple choice. I almost always will put the correct answer first, because remember it's going to be when it generates it in a quiz, it's going to shuffle those answers anyway, so it really doesn't matter. It makes it a little bit easier for editing purposes if you have to go back and edit something. So I've got the correct answer in there with 100% for a grade. Don't forget to put the grade in. That's a really easy thing to forget to do. And then underneath that, and this is another nice feature about the multiple choice questions, is you can put in feedback for each individual answer. So for instance, for the right one, you got it would work. And then for each of the wrong ones, you might want to have kind of a hint about, if they were to have to answer that question again, what they might want to look for. So I've got Chicago in here and some information there, same with St. Paul, and then finally put New York as being one as well. So there's my 4 choices. Now, once again, it doesn't have to be 4. It could be 3, it could be 8. You really have a lot of options that you have available to you in terms of what you want to do with those multiple choice questions. Okay, once you're done and you feel good about that, and by the way, if you want to enter overall feedback, you can do that as well for a correct answer or for a partially correct answer. And then finally, you'd go down to the end and just hit create question or save changes, and you will have created that new question. So I now have the City 2 question, and if I go ahead and preview it, you'll notice that it will take the question, it will include the picture just like we had before, and then my choices are down below, and students can just go ahead and select the correct choice for the given question.